Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. So today I'm going to fix a tool. So you all have seen this used in my videos quite often. This is a wooden mallet that I had made quite some time ago, about 2 years ago. Anyways, it has finally gave up the gusto. I still got a little bit of this last part here, but it's blown its top off and I need to make another one. I use these quite often in forming bowls and things of that nature, and just a general all-around forming mallet. Now, I've got the materials to go ahead and make a new one, so that's what I'm going to do today. I hope you all enjoy this video. There's going to be a few little different changes that I do to this, and hopefully that'll improve it a little bit better for the kind of work that I do. Thank you all for watching this video, and let's get started. Okay, so here's what we have. This here is just a piece of oak that I have laying around. It's approximately 4 inches by 4 inches square, which is, I believe, let's see here, 100 mil by 100 mil. Is that correct? I think it is. Yep, essentially 4 inches square, and I've got a 16-inch long, what they would call like a carpenter's hammer handle, and we're going to use this in this mallet. Now, if you notice, I've got this traced out on here, but it's not in the center like in the other mallet. The reason for that being is I do a lot of copper work, and I use these to help me sink the bowls. Well, since I'm using a wooden mallet to help me sink the bowls, especially on my larger work, I need to get the depth below the rim of the bowl, especially once it gets pretty deep. And so therefore, having your handle offset allows you to get down into the depth of the bowl, much in the same way of like a dog face hammer. So that's why this is offset. So the next thing, it is not necessarily needed to take and drill all the way through your wooden block in order to take and set the hammer handle. I'm going to show you what it's like to set a blind handle. And a blind handle is essentially going to have a wedge that is down inside the hole that allows, as you drive this on, for it to get tighter and tighter and tighter. And I'm going to show you kind of how that works here in just a moment. It's kind of a neat process, really, but you know, it's a valuable one to learn if you're going to make mallets like this, and you don't want to have to take and drill all the way through and find a handle that will make it all the way through the piece. So I'll go ahead and show you how that works out. One of the things that you want to do is you want to make sure that you trim these to the exact size of your finished hammer handle. Now, this may take a little bit of shaving or fiddling around with to get it to fit nice and snug into this hole here. And so therefore you don't want to go ahead and trim up your wedge just yet until this is at its final dimension and shape. Then you go ahead and trim up your wedge to fit that. So without further ado, let's get to working on this. We're going to drill 2 holes, and then I'll be right back with you, and this goes along pretty quick after that. Okay, everybody, here we are. So now you can see where I widened that out for the first part of the handle, and then I drilled a hole even deeper through. So I'm going to have to round the end of this, so this way it will fit down inside that hole, and then this will go to its final depth and be able to get seated nice and snugly right where it belongs into the actual mallet itself. Now, there's another option that you can do. You could just drill a round hole, and then that meets this diameter, but you will have quite a bit of gap to the left and the right that you'll have to take and deal with. I've done that before. I don't like that. That's not my favorite option to go with. So, you know, if you can get this as close and tight fitting as you can, the better off you'll be. So the next step in this process, I'm going to go ahead and thin this down and do it in a time lapse where it will fit down into there, or just fit down into there fairly snugly to where it can be tapped on. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim this to fit, and then we will go ahead and knock it together. Now, one thing you could do, I don't have it here with me, but you could do a wood glue, like a Gorilla Glue down in here, or an epoxy, and epoxy this in, which would probably be the better route to go. But as I do not have it here, I'm just going to go ahead and do it this raw method. And if I have to make another wood mallet, so be it. Not a real big deal. Just got to get this in order so I can finish up some customer jobs. So let's go over to the belt sander and get this thing shaped. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. So I've whittled this down so it fits down in that round hole, like I said, that 5/8 inch round hole or so, and it's going to make a nice seat around this here. Now, the last thing we got to do is we have to take and go ahead and trim down our wedge. The way I like to trim down the wedges is I like to stick it into the slot in the handle just a little bit, and then I take a pair of sheet metal shears, line it up to approximately where that would be right in line, and then just give it a little snip. And that's usually enough to trim it off to the correct thickness that you're going to need. So that's just a little handy tip there. So now the next thing is to make sure that that is going to fit down the hole. Right now the wedge is just a little wide, so we can just either whittle this, or you can take it to the sander, or you can use the shears, or really whatever floats your boat on this. But I'm just going to whittle it down a little bit with the shears. This is fairly soft wood, this wedge material is, so it goes along pretty good. And I'm just going to make sure that that fits. Now it fits in the hole. So now we're ready to drive this. So before we drive this, this is where you would put on your wood glue. You just fill this thing with wood glue or epoxy and then drive it down and drive it home in the hole. So, but since I don't have that on me right now, we're just going to drive this straight down as it is. And we want to go real light with this because you want it to take and wedge in nicely. So take your time, wedge the two pieces together. As you can see, my drill hole was a little bit bigger than what it should have been. And there you have it. That thing is together. It's knocked up. It's not going to go nowhere now. It's not going to come out. There you are. So the drill hole here was a little bit big. It wandered a little bit. That may present itself as an issue at a later date. I don't know. But make sure it's completely driven down. And I'm pretty sure it is. It is not moving anymore. So that is how you take and make a mallet. Or how I make a mallet, anyhow. I'd be interested in hearing from you in the comment section down below. You know, drop me a line. Let me know how you make your wood mallets. Do you make wood mallets? Do you just buy them? Yeah, just let me know how it goes. So some of the other options that you could do for this mallet now is you could band it or put a metal band around here, and that would help prevent it from ever splintering off. I personally am going to shape this a little bit more of a dome with like a flat disc on an angle grinder, and then, you know, sear it off with the heat of the bowls that I'm forging, and that will help mitigate any cracking or splitting on it. But yeah, so that's it for today. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel, you may want to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. I put out new videos every single day, and live streams usually on Fridays, unless otherwise notated in another video. So anyways, thank you all for watching. God bless you, and like I always say, we'll catch you on the next one.